ladies and gentlemen, it's Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk, and we're now on week 3 of our Waves of Inspiration coffee and card, and I think I can safely say this is my favourite. I did a whole class using acetate the other week, and I've never really used it before, and I think I may have fallen in love. So we call them window sheets in Stampin' Up, and they come in packs of 12 by 12. And I ordered 2, and I need to order another one because I've nearly finished. So this is a bit of a fun fold. So we open out, and then we open out again, so you can write your things on there. So it just gives a little bit of 3D effect there, that the detail stuck onto the acetate. And then we've got a central piece of basic white in the middle there. So here we go. So in your pack we have, now what I've done, so I've used Petal Pink as the background for this card, and I've also used the colour and contour dies, which for some reason are down here, or the scallop contour dies that go with the colour and contour stamp set, and we get lots and lots of frame dies. They are carrying forward to the new catalogue, so they're really useful. A lovely edge, and then some dies to cut out the flowers in the colour and contour set. The reason I'm actually showing you all of it is this month's product class is using this bundle, so if you're wanting a tutorial on how to use that, then let me know and I shall send you one. Or you can join in the product class. It's on Zoom, so you just need to go to my website, lindaspapercraft.co.uk, to get more details. Anyway, I digress. So I've used that die set to cut out the centre of the card, and then I thought, well, I don't want a stack of these, so I've actually popped it into your kit, so you can use that with another card. So that's a nice little frame. I love the stitching on these, they're really cute. So you have that extra, so don't get confused, you're not going to use it in the card, it's extra. So then you've got your card base, which is a normal tent-fold card base, a piece of window sheet which is just going to fit behind, and then your slightly smaller basic white tent-fold card base. Okay, so, and we're going to start with this, all your stampings on here. Okay, so do you know what I'm not? I'm actually going to glue the window sheet on first because it does take a little while to dry. And I've used all sorts, but I've actually found our Tombow is probably about the best. You can use tape, but because it's, you know, it's quite a narrow border all round, I think I prefer the glue because I've got a little bit more control and I can do a narrow border. So, but I'm doing it a little bit before I've done the rest so that it's a chance to dry. Okay, because it is slippery stuff, this window sheet. So I'm just going to do a thin bead of glue all the way around. You will be able to see the glue when this opens, but, you know, I couldn't work out. I mean, I suppose I could have done another insert to glue over the top, but then we're getting very silly. And sometimes it's nice to know how these things work. Okay, so then, and then I'm popping the window sheet, and it is almost the same size as the front of your card. So it's just 0.5 centimetre smaller, and I'm just spreading that glue out there. And then I'm going to do my stamping and let that while that dries. Okay, so I'll just pop that there. Okay, so I'm going to do this piece here. So you've got another piece here. I saw a card very similar to this, and I did write down who'd done it, and I can't find it now, but they'd done it the other way, so that this part opened that way and that part open, and also decorated the front differently and made it differently. But I got the basic idea from them, but I didn't like the idea of it sort of opening. It just seemed a bit cumbersome because the only time you got them over the image was when it was closed. Once it was open, they weren't. So I've decided to go with the normal opening, which is this way. Okay, we'll get the trusty Stamparatus out. And again, I am, because I cannot, because I only have sort of 100 and odd subscribers, I'm not allowed to go live on YouTube. So I have to pre-record, not with hand cameras. I could if I was looking straight at the camera, and I can with all sorts of weird software that my son keeps explaining to me and I do not understand. So I have to pre-record these, which is actually quite nice because I quite like pre-recording them, but I am actually pre-recording them all on the same day, which is why this is still on the Stampin', because it hasn't moved, because I've done all, well, 3 so far. I've got the last one to do. Right, so I've, again, using my paper, I've positioned roughly where I want the stamp. I'm just going to bring that over so I can see that it's not, doesn't seem to be quite straight, but I think it's more this paper's moved rather than anything else. So yeah, that's just going to be, just going to move it down. You want it so that it's, so that you can see it through the window. So you don't want it right down at the bottom, but you don't want it too far up either, that you can then see the bottom of the wave through the window. And you need to have, you know, be able to stick quite a bit. So I'm going to leave it where it is. So it's going to leave about 1/2 centimetre. It's going to leave that much, to be honest, from the bottom of the card. So again, the lovely pool party. I do love my pool party, I must admit. But any of the colours out of the paper you could use, or you could even go really bright with your Pacific Point, have a nice bit of Coastal Cabana on it. You could even use Bermuda Bay, which again is very bright, but I quite like the subtlety of the pool party. Okay, right, a little doobry thing, and I'm just going to stamp that. Okay, and then when I actually made this card up when I was designing it, and I couldn't decide what I needed, what else I needed, and I hadn't put the sentiment on, I put it on a group chat I'm in, and they were like, yeah, you need a sentiment. So I thought, well, that'd be nice, and I'll put it in here, but I'd already stuck these birds on, so it was quite difficult to get it in the right place. So what I'm planning to do this time is I'm going to put it somewhere. I'll put it on, do the stamping first, and then add the birds, so that they're not in the way of the sentiment. So okay, right, let's pop this off here out of the way. And so I want this so that it will be inside the window. So let's see where I've put it on that one. So it's sort of down a little bit and then in quite a bit from the side. So I have somewhere here the stamp I was going to use. Still in here? No. So we are going to have, instead of your strength is an inspiration, we're going to have you are totally awesome. Okay. There we go. Gosh, it's beautifully sunshiny out here, but there are some very dark clouds. So we'll have to see how we're going. I suspect it's going to get very rainy, which is a pain because I'm going out for tea tonight. Right, so make sure that's the right way. Okay, and I think I want it about there, and then it'll be seeable. Visible, that's the word, not seeable. Visible when the card is closed. If you're not sure, you can always stamp this before you put the acetate in, because you could just pop that in, close the card and stamp it where you can see it. But unfortunately in my rush to put the acetate in I can't, so I am going sort of, you know, probably further in than I need to make sure that I've got the whole of the sentiment visible. And here's the check. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Yay! I am totally awesome. Woohoo! So if you brought the die set, you do have a piece of DSP, and you can cut both the wave and your birds out of this piece of DSP. So, and this time I've used the more curved wave. So there's 2 waves in the die set, and they do lay on top of each other quite well as well. So one of them is very much, we've used this one already, so it's very you know, rectangular. It's got a straight side there, and then this one's a bit more curvy. So as you can see, they are the same size, and when you lay them on top of each other, you can see they are different from each other. So you get the roll of the waves, you get all the different bits coming through. So they do actually layer very nicely, but this time we've used the more curly one. Okay. So put that away. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is glue this in place. So it's like it just adding a double layered mat. So I am going to add it to the back of the card with an even border all the way around. Okay. Like that. Make sure you do all your wiggling before you press it down. There we are. And then I'm going to close the card up to position. I mean, to be fair, that is pretty nice anyway. I quite like that without the addition of the wave on the front. But I do think this finishes it off. So, right, glue. And as I say, I've already cut out my wave. Oh. Ah! I was looking for that. We don't need that in this. That's for another card. And then my birdies. So they will be in your kit if you don't have the dies. If you do have the dies, then obviously you'll be cutting your own. So you don't need to worry about them getting lost. So, and again, the trusty silicone sheet out. And I cut this out of DSP to get the different colours in it, and also it makes the open card more interesting as well, because you've got all the blue on the inside too. So you can see those, and as you can see the glue. But, you know, yeah, the tricky we do quickly, the impossible takes a little bit longer. I am just now adding little spots of glue again onto the die cut. Got the flow going, there we go, there we go. Once you get the flow right, then it's very quick to add little dots, little tiny dots all the way, particularly in the corners and along this bottom piece, because this is where it'll catch if it's not glued down. Excuse my head if I'm leaning in, concentrating. Okay. Right. Where's my trusty tweezers? There they are. So, just going to pick that up and position it on the card. So obviously you want to be fairly right first time, because you don't want to be moving this around much. She says moving it around loads. Okay, so I am, and it will overrun the edge of your card. So how cute is that? Okay. See, I missed that bit there. It's not sticking down, is it? So what we do is we find our little foxes. They've disappeared. There they are. This is a paper we had years ago, but I just made myself a little box out of it, and I keep my cocktail sticks in it. it is getting a bit battered. I think I probably need to make a new one. So it's just handy just to have it in the drawer. Trusty silicone mat. So what I'm going to do is add some glue to this piece because I don't want it sticking proud. So I'm just going to pick up some glue using that and then just pop it underneath this bit here. See, just, oops, I did not want to do that. There we go. Now it's sticking down. There we go. That's better. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my tweezers and dip the edges of my birdies, not let go of them, into the glue, and then I'm going to pop one flying away this way and the other one flying the other way. So you can pick where you put your little birdies. I think I might, if I was to do this again, I would probably pick a darker bit of the DSP to do the birds on because they are quite pale. I've done it darker on, you can see on the other one. See, sticky fingers is not a good idea because we are losing stuff. There we go. There we go. Come off. There we are. Okay, so there we go. So now you can see that. Just going to get rid of that little bit of glue that we got on there. There we go. Right, okay, so that's 2 cards that I've made there. So your strength is an inspiration and you are totally awesome using the vellum acetate there, and I hope you like that as much as I do. So I'll see you next week for week 4 and the final week of our Waves of Inspiration coffee and card. Take care. See you soon. Bye.